This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As we get closer to the inauguration of President-elect, or as I like to say, President-select, Donald Trump, it's interesting to see some of the stories that continue to develop. I've talked about how a lot of celebrities are begging for martial law to prevent this from happening. People are coming forward and protesting and doing all sorts of stuff. They're hinting at something happening at the inauguration, or whether it's, the people that are protesting, or, I know people have talked about many different things that could potentially happen. But we see the propaganda getting pushed through the media, the mainstream media, and how they're making Obama look here. With 48 hours to go, obviously anything could still happen. But it's only speculation, as most of you know. I mean, you can only speculate on this stuff, but they're still pumping out the approval rating of Obama being at 60% now. I've covered that on my channel all year, how this approval rating just continues to go up and up and up. So they let you know his approval rating's at 60 and Trump's is at 40, which is extremely, extremely low. They do this for a reason, even if they don't have something planned here in the next 2 days. They want to make sure that there's division caused, and Trump really fits the bill for them with a division amongst Americans, civil unrest. Right? Trump doesn't have any big bands playing to usher him in on Friday at his inauguration. People just don't want to be involved with him, and it's dangerous. And even an article written by CNN, more garbage propaganda, of course, called Trump's New World Disorder. Of course, they always have to hint at the New World Order. They always have to kind of link Donald Trump to any of these conspiracy things, the alt-right, all of this stuff, New World Order, Illuminati, always linking Trump to those things. What a coincidence. Now, there's a lot of people out there that believe Trump is not one of them. I've gone over this many times. I fully 100% believe that he is. But if you feel that way, you're entitled to believe that and feel that way. And as most of you know, time will tell, right? You'll see and make a decision based on what happens. And I know a lot of people say, well, it was a better choice than having Hillary in there. Now, these people run in the same circles. Now, we're also seeing all of this stuff go on where they're talking about how Russia rigged the entire election, so it's all linking into the WikiLeaks, all that stuff being linked into one basket of conspiracy, and then saying that Trump didn't really win, that Hillary really won. Who knows what bizarre plan they have in place, but this is a story that's not going to go away. The stuff with Russia is going to continue to be there. We're going to continue to hear about it over and over, and we're going to see what the New World Order has in store for us. Now, interestingly enough, I talked about George Bush Sr. being hospitalized. Now they're saying he's in intensive care, as well as Barbara Crawley Bush being hospitalized, both in the same week here, leading up to the inauguration. It'll be interesting to see if something occurs there in the next 48 hours leading up to Trump's inauguration. Now, the narrative continues that Donald Trump is turning the world upside down, that he's unfit to become president. You have to remember, this is the dialogue that they want out there. This is the narrative that the media has created, the mass media, using celebrities and many other people, talking heads on television, late night talk show hosts, you name it, they're involved in pushing this narrative of the United States of America is in big, big trouble. The people out there are the ones who wanted this guy in. There's problems with Russia. There's all these things going on. Trump's going to start World War III. This is the narrative that they've wanted to create. That's why they run articles, Trump's New World Disorder. Okay, they want to link Donald Trump to being the alt-right, which is what they've labeled all of us. They want us to be grouped in with this when we should not be grouped in with it. They want everyone out there to perceive that all of Trump's supporters are all these crazy Pizzagate people and all these crazy people that believe in all these conspiracy theories, just like Trump with Obama's birth certificate. This is what they want. Remember, this is all about mind control. We're in spiritual warfare, and they're using mind control to manipulate and lead the masses where they want to with their false narrative. This article says some U.S. enemies like Russia are becoming his friends, and longtime U.S. allies like Germany are wondering whether America will be there for them anymore. Geopolitical groups and alliances like the EU and NATO that have underpinned U.S. global leadership for generations are reeling from Trump's disparaging comments. Don't forget, they push this gimmick with Trump where he tweets this stuff all the time, these ridiculous comments all the time. This is all part of it. They want you to look at him as unstable, unfit, that he's one of us, This isn't him getting in on his own, in my opinion. This is all part of the plan that they have, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see what happens next, because this is part of their plan. They control the narrative, and they control what is to come. That's why it's important to be on your toes and always just look at the narrative in the mass media and see what they're trying to push. And that's why I fully believe if, he does get in on Friday, I know a lot of people think something could happen before Friday, but if he does get in, that this is what they can label and pin on everyone out there and say, you wanted this, you got this, and now you're not, the American people aren't capable of even voting for the right candidate. It's out of control. You need a dictatorship or something along those lines. I mean, who knows where they can go with this nonsense? But they're going to go there because they have a plan in place. And we're hearing all of this stuff, all this rumblings with Russia. And it's going to be an interesting 48 hours because they're pushing this Obama approval rating thing still. Every word he's saying is getting, oh, it's his last speech. Oh, it's his last this. Oh, it's his last that. It's very interesting how they're pushing this. It's also very interesting that Hillary Clinton will be at his inauguration standing right next to him with Bill Clinton, a few feet away. After they had this charade, like I've pointed out many others, of a campaign, what a circus the entire thing was. Trump versus Hillary. They're saying, oh, the American people have never been more uncomfortable with two candidates. And then all the shots they took at each other. Trump telling people that he was going to have her jailed and arrested, that she belonged behind bars. And now on his inauguration day, she's going to be 5 feet away applauding and telling people, this is great, this is wonderful. Yet people out there still think, that Trump and he's getting there on his own. And why would she be supporting him? Showing you all of this narrative that they pushed out there during the election, all this false narrative. Oh, I'm going to get her. I'm going to go after her. Oh, the emails and all this stuff. It's so corrupt what she's done and the murders and all this stuff she's tied into. But she'll be standing 5 feet away from Trump for his inauguration. Very interesting to think about that. And I don't want to hear, well, she has to be there because Bill, the former president's going to be there, and, she should be there. It's the right thing to do. This is all part of a plan. So Trump's New World Disorder, this is the narrative they want to push, that our country's in disorder, it's crazy, it's chaotic. Trump's tweeting all these bizarre things over and over, criticizing people, saying derogatory comments. He's apparently a racist, he's apparently a sexist. All of this stuff, everybody's just concerned, everybody's worried. This is what they want. And we'll see in the next 48 hours how this all goes down, because it's going to be very interesting. It could just be go down regularly, and Trump just gets in 48 hours, it is inaugurated, and nothing happens. But then that's when the real concern begins, because this narrative has been placed here for a reason. And him getting in 48 hours, we're going to see this narrative start to open up and unfold if he does. We're going to start to see these rumors of wars and all this other stuff as rumors of what's going to happen with NATO and foreign relations and all that stuff. This is all stuff they want in the narrative. And one guy, like I said before, to keep your eye on is Pence. Because I know a lot of people think, well, Trump might get assassinated. Trump even has said himself, something along the lines of not being sure he's going to make it 4 years. Pence is somebody to watch, because there's lots of stuff out there on Mike Pence being involved in these pedo rings. Lots of stuff. People have been killed over it. Now people always say stuff to me and they say, well, wouldn't they just have him, run and then become president because the election's rigged and all that stuff? Well, maybe they figure the American people wouldn't buy it because he doesn't have a personality to go do that, right? You need a personality and something, to go out there and run. You can't just be, a cardboard cutout. You can't be like Bob Dole or Mitt Romney, The people won't buy it. They'll say, who voted for this guy? But there's just a lot of stuff going on with 48 hours to go here. Lots of stuff. Lots of rumblings about martial law, which obviously is not going to go down in 48 hours, but just rumblings about how people actually want martial law to prevent him from getting in. The email stuff still out there. The Russia hacks still out there. The pushing of Obama still going on as one of our best presidents ever. His approval rating. The people, it's almost like they want to convince people out there, well, Obama's approval rating is at an all-time high at 60%. Well, maybe he wasn't that bad after all. Maybe he was really bad. And Trump's at 40. These statistics are all made up. They make up the approval rating. Nobody's ever met somebody that's been pulled for one of these approval ratings, okay? Where are they doing these? Who's behind it? What fake corporation do they have that goes around and takes these votes and the pulse of the people? Okay, and what do they do? Take 1,000? I mean, it's a joke. It's a complete joke. They do this strictly for mind control, because then they convince people out there, they hear that his approval rating is 60 and Trump's is 40, and then that makes people go, oh, I'm really nervous about Trump's approval rating so low. It's all subliminal mind control. And that's what they're doing. And the narrative continues to be that Trump is going to really mess things up. But you can see the terms in a lot of these articles linked to people such as myself and you guys out there listening, with New World Order, mentioning of the New World Order, the mentioning of conspiracy theories, the mentioning of fake news, all of this stuff tying into us. So be careful you don't fall for the narrative, because remember, what they pump, what they push, what they say over and over, okay, is the narrative that they want, and that's what they want people to follow. So that's what I always say, and I've been saying about Trump, and I know people want to have hope, and they want to believe, and who might rain on their parade, okay? But these guys are all in it together, and the narrative is showing you that they're trying to link him to us for some reason, as if he's been this conspiracy theory guy his whole life, that he's been this guy's a millionaire businessman, and they're trying to make it seem like, well, he believes in all of these conspiracies out there, with Obama and the birth certificate and all this other stuff. And he gets linked to us and the fake news that's getting pushed now, and him doing that show with the fake news guy at CNN. All very interesting. The narrative continues to evolve, and it's continuing to unfold right before our eyes. So we'll see Friday what happens. I'll keep you posted. I'll probably do a video on it on Friday. Hey, who knows? Maybe they'll even do, the way it's going with how over the top the elites are right now, and how they're shoving everything in our face, maybe they'll even do the inauguration right on top of some black and white tiles. Wouldn't be surprised if they had the 2 pillars there and the arch. That wouldn't shock me, because people out there would see that and still think nothing of it. They'd say, oh, okay, it's a little architecture. Huh? Seriously, they would. Maybe even have them swear in on the Satanic Bible, or the actually real Satanic Bible, the Works of Crowley, the Book of Law, those kinds of things. Maybe he'll swear in on that instead of a Bible. Who knows? Because people out there wouldn't even notice or care. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sworn in, standing on top of black and white tiles at this point, with how obvious and in our faces all this stuff is, because nobody cares. Thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.